This is spEarz to the streets. spEarz to the streets. spEarz to the streets. spEarz to the streets. This is spEarz to the streets. This is spEarz to the streets. Get down to the beat.
Cargill got tore up at Night of Champions. In this match, Asuka outwitted, outpaced, and even outjobbed Jade. Focusing primarily on Jade's lower body, Asuka spent her recent time away from WWE apparently not far from the PC, because she spent the majority of the match putting Jade in arm bars and leg bars, a refreshing change of pace to the way Asuka would handle her challengers while she carried the Damage Control faction on her back. Those leg bars were the most effective, especially during Jade's first pump kick attempt where it looked like Cargill saw double and kicked through the ropes. Perfect for Asuka to grab her leg and inflict maximum damage that saturated the entirety of the bout. If this match were determined with a point system, Asuka would have outstripped Jade early on, destroying Jade's lower body and hammering her with her own patented Asuka kicks. It seems as if Cargill, by this point in the match, was trying to prove she was still in the tournament, performing a noted unnecessary kip-up, and took several Asuka kicks to the chest, begging for more, while the boos rained down upon her from the hostile crowd. Cargill had something to prove, but as the match progressed, all Cargill proved was that she needs to hit the PC. Cargill's first attempt at the chokeslam, countered. First attempt at the pump kick, countered. First attempt at Jade, countered. And it can't be missed that not only were Jade's biggest moves countered, but Asuka transitioned each counter into a submission. Asuka got the Asuka lock in, and Jade turned it into a desperation roll-up, but desperation was the key word highlighted for all of Rida to see. Offensively, Jade got a nice super kick off deep in the match, and when her chokeslam actually hit, it was a joy to view. But Asuka clearly controlled the pace of the match, even having a fallout on the ropes after one of her own signatures felled Jade to protect her competitor. Jade was taking top rope drop kicks to the face and was fighting hard to break out a grounded armbar as the match wore down. Her own fallaway slams and suplexes were applied with more force than usual, as that early pump kick that got caught up on the ropes seemed to affect her performance greatly, and the jeers from the crowd only served as salt in the wound. As Asuka switched to a more striking-focused game, Cargill found holes in Asuka's stance and scored a brutal power slam. Cargill barely countered an armbar into a desperation roll-up, which forced a break. Then Asuka ate a pump kick comboed with a sloppy Jaded, which Cargill couldn't even keep mounted for the complete 3 count due to her obvious leg injury. And with that embarrassment, Cargill was crowned the 2025 Queen of the Ring. I understand that Jade got injured, and I commend her for winning the match. I saw Mercedes Moné live at Double or Nothing complain about detractors last month when she won the Hart Cup. So if a belt collector could get frustrated with a tepid crowd, then I don't necessarily have smoke for Jade letting her guard down a little and expressing her disappointment with an ungrateful Rida. The ring gear was Jean Lee's storm. Hell, I even applauded for Jade's win, but in no way do I believe that she deserved the crown this year. Asuka whooped Jade's ass throughout the match, even before Jade injured herself by trying that first pump kick through the ropes, which was not the safest place to perform that spot. Asuka kept the match together and protected Jade throughout while Cargill struggled to complete the match. Factor in that this is a part of Asuka's recent comeback tour, and though Cole at the announce table was calling out vintage Asuka, all I saw was new variations and combos with old moves. Asuka honestly should have walked out of Rida with the crown as the comeback kid. Cargill's semifinal match with Roxanne Perez was honestly the superior match in this year's tourney. Sexy, powerful, and I could have swore Jade had a wardrobe malfunction with her trunks just to add to the sensuality. That was 2 women from the South going at it in the States, and it was a banger. The finals in Rida in no way compared to what Raw got only a couple days prior at a damn house show. And this is where the Cargill-Moné comparisons intersect, because they both have utilized the opportunity to inflate their names through AEW and have made hard-fought history in WWE. But the buck stops there, because as much as people bash Moné, she has multiple styles under her belt, and I could say that I saw in person in Arizona when Moné got shotgunned to All In by winning the Hart Cup, that experience is one of her greatest assets. Cargill, knowing only a few power moves and a finisher, was exposed, as she won the Queen of the Ring crown and got shotgunned to this year's SummerSlam. Her lack of experience, despite her years spinning the ring, was disappointing to see, even as she barely stood in victory. The conclusion to the 2025 Queen of the Ring tournament was an emperor in new clothes moment. Queen Cargill needs to take notes from her challenger and hit the PC, learn some new moves, get a couple submissions in her skill set. Because not every match the Queen will have is going to be ran like a heavyweight title match. And since Cargill at this moment can only depend on a couple of power moves, she will continue to have circles ran around her in the ring by women spending their time off camera, hitting the gym, and mastering new styles.
This is spEarz to the streets. 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 This is to the streets, to the streets, spEarz to the streets, spEarz to the streets, spEarz to the. This is spEarz to the streets. Get down to the beat, or get beat down in the street.